public school district in second grade. And because of that, I was able to witness all the complexities of our district. I'm also able to experience and observe the various challenges our district continues to be met with firsthand. And specifically, I paid attention to the educational disparities that students from our district suffer from, particularly our Black students. My graduating class, the class of 2021, was forced to enroll in AP Biology and AP US History as freshmen. And the majority of students who struggled to keep up with the academic rigor of those courses were from our school district. And furthermore, as a junior at our school, I was able to witness a lot of my peers get into some top universities, but I was saddened to see not as many Black students attend these universities, as we make up a large demographic of our campus. And so when I decided to start the Black Student Union, I wanted to address many of the systematic and systemic challenges our district is met with and foster a sense of community among Black students in order to raise the academic standard that we all keep. Within the Black Student Union, we were able to do many successful things this year. This past year, we were able to organize a Black Students Matter protest in which we sort of laid out a lot of the challenges our district face and ways that we can approach them. We successfully ran a campaign for Leslie Brown to become the Board of Education representative, and we were successful with that. We were able to hold various meetings with the mayor, city council, and chief of police, and were able to become active members in our community. We met with numerous Board of Education officials, our principal, and other school administrators to discuss school policy and to bring our input to our district. And we also advocated for implicit bias training for staff, which Dr. Blondie took over, and we were also able to successfully advocate for the re-inclusion of an African American Studies course, which is scheduled to be taught in the 2022 to 2023 school year. Furthermore, we were able to increase Black representation within clubs on our campus, and we were able to support other student associations, such as the Muslim Students Association, with their work as well. And with the Black Student Union, I'm particularly proud of us for combating all of the barriers we faced. Although like our school community and administrators were very supportive, like many of them, such as Mr. Searle, were eager to learn from us and hear our perspectives, we still faced a lot of like internal challenges and a lot of personal issues too, as we were all seniors and had a lot going on. And so I'm very appreciative of everyone who supported us and all of the members who gave their time and effort to make sure BSU can run successfully and continue for years to come. And after starting the BSU of Englewood, I also was one of the people who started the NAACP Youth and Conservation in Englewood. And our three primary goals within this division are to disrupt inequality, dismantle racism, and accelerate change within our community. And with establishing this chapter, myself and my other founding members hope to help the youth become more involved in our community, increase our civic engagement. We also wanted to combat the material conditions our members of our community are met with daily. And so within this chapter, we do a lot of volunteering work. We were able to do a COVID-19 supply giveaway in which we gave away 500 reusable masks, 1,095 masks, 80 packs of antibacterial wipes, and 80 large containers of hand sanitizer. We also participated in an emergency food distribution, educated others on the Black Lives Matter movement. We were able to advocate for the Russell C. Major Liberty School to be turned into a community center. We were also able to volunteer in other outlets such as the Angel Tree Drive, in which we assisted in providing Christmas gifts for children with absent parents just to reduce the psychological trauma of having said absent parent. We were able to advocate for our community to wear masks during the pandemic by participating in a Mask Up campaign. And we also did various fundraisers to raise money for our funds and community. And although I'm no longer going to be a student at EPSD, I do plan to remain involved with these organizations while at Princeton. Within BSU, our former senior members decided that we were going to start an alumni committee in which we are going to be doing mentorship, tutoring services and offering them to students of EPSD and particularly students of the Black Student Union, just so we can take some pressure off the current students' hands so they can work on improving our school and we can help out with a lot of the academic component that we all are very passionate about. And within NAACP, I still plan on being a leader within the organization, but I'll also be working closely with the current members who are still students within the EPSD. So I'm excited to still remain active in the Englewood community.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay. I just want to switch my view here for a moment. Thank you so much, Christopher. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I just have one question. Christopher, thank you so much. I think it's wonderful what you're doing, and I hope that what you have launched will become really embedded into Dwight Morrow High School and the academies. You spoke very quickly, and I missed, you said that the goals of the Black Student Union. Could you please say what those are again?
Yeah, the goals of Black Student Union of Englewood are to address a lot of the systemic and systematic challenges within our district, whether those related to education, like school policies and whatnot. And we also strive to create a community for Black students on our campus, just so we can become one and try to like raise our academic standards. Our goal is to kind of push one another, because when people see certain students striving towards success, they kind of take that into themselves, internalize it, and strive to do something similar. So we hope to kind of invigorate everyone to kind of see the best within themselves and recognize their full potential.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. Wonderful.
I have a question about that union. Will the leadership be composed of both academy and non-academy students?
Yes, we actually had elections for our executive board last school year, and a lot of our members come from both programs. And just to speak, we have 2 co-presidents this year, and one of them is from the comprehensive program and the other one is from the academy program. So we do try to keep a balance within our board, just so we have perspectives from both sides of campus, and to make sure a lot of underrepresented voices, particularly from the comprehensive program, are heard and respected.
I have a question. How about something positive about Dwight Morrow?
Just like in general, or
I
think
would say, you know, we've heard all of the things you're working for, and do you feel you've gotten anything positive, both academically and socially, from attending Dwight Morrow High School?
I
just
think,
for a change, I'd like to hear something positive.
Yeah, I think socially, something that I learned after attending Dwight Morrow Academy in Englewood is that everyone like has potential, because I feel like a lot of students at Dwight Morrow have experienced a lot of like disillusionment over the course of the years. Like a lot of them have been told by like various like sources and outlets that they like will not succeed, they will not reach certain potential. But I think after like meeting students, like joining them, recruiting them to our like support our efforts, I've learned that everyone is special, everyone has something that makes them unique, and everyone has a chance of success. And I think you just have to sometimes like reach out to people and encourage them. So I learned from like going to Dwight Morrow that you shouldn't leave anyone behind, even if they may be reluctant to participate in like schoolwork or like an activity, because there might be like several reasons behind that. So I feel like going to my school, I was able to really take like a step back for myself and understand like the larger picture, and like understand like larger circumstances that kind of affect people and like how they act and behave. And academically, I feel I was very well prepared at going to Dwight Morrow Academy in Englewood. A lot of the courses I still like internalize like a lot of the knowledge, and I can still apply the knowledge to various contexts to this day. So I am very grateful for both the social and academic experience I received.
Thank you.
Thank you. First Bob, and then, wait, bear with me. Sorry. Bob, Janet, and Kevin.
Okay, Christopher, I am
Scott.
I'm sorry. Christopher, I applaud what you're doing. I always encourage all students to maximize their intellectual capacity. I am for the social good. Could I ask you, my friend, does your organization either have a website or a pamphlet where I can get more information? Because my question would be much too long for you to answer, which is, what methods are you going to introduce to the school system in order to achieve your goals? So if you have a website, or if I could obtain a pamphlet, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. On our website, we did have it up running for the last school year, but it's actually under construction for the summer, just because we want to make some slight adjustments and improvements and updates, since a lot of the content is focused on 2020-21 school year. So in the near future, the website will be back up and running, and I can hopefully get in contact with you to provide you the link to it.
I'll put my cell phone number in the chat. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And can people just, when it's up and running, just Google Black Students Union Englewood, Dwight
Yeah,
Morrow?
I can give you guys the webpage because I think we're gonna have to switch over because we have our tech person is also in my grade, so we're currently switching over the membership, the passport, and so the URL also might change. So once we have that all settled, I can send it over to everyone.
Okay, I
And we'll
wish,
make a big
Thank
thing
you.
about it.
if you send it to Diane, Diane can get it to the rest of us, okay?
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who did I say next? Janet?
I defer to Scott because he's had his hand up, but I do still have a question.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. I forgot him.
Thank you, Janet. First of all, congratulations from a fellow Dwight Morrow graduate 45 years ago. Two quick questions. First of all, did your parents go to Dwight Morrow?
Yes, they did, but I do not remember the exact year they graduated.
I think I were classmates with them, so that's how old I
Really?
am. Again, congratulations, Princeton. You got into a lot of really good schools. How'd you pick Princeton? Why'd you pick Princeton?
I think what stood out with Princeton with me is the fact that they emphasize like undergraduate education. Because unlike like Harvard, Yale, like a lot of the other like top schools, they don't have like a medical school or a law school. So all their attention is focused on creating like an undergraduate community. And I enjoyed the fact that I'll be able to be like catered to and like I would be the emphasis on campus.
That's really interesting. I had no idea. Okay, so Janet?
I have a question for Judy Aronson. I know Judy is integrally involved in the high school, and I'd just like to know, from your perspective, what impact has the Black Student Union had, and what do you think its potential is for the future?
Oh, I think it's had an enormous impact. First, because we do have a Black population that doesn't really feel like it has a voice on our campus. They don't feel that there is a unique place for them. And another thing, Chris, which I don't know how much you guys have thought about this, but as a teacher for almost 20 years at Dwight Morrow, I've seen the population shift in that there are more Latino students coming in. And so the Latino population has grown. And I feel as a teacher, the African-American population has gone down. And so with that, their voice has gone down and their impact has gone down. And that's just a demographic shift that's going on, in terms of who's attending the public schools in Englewood. It's not something anybody could really control. But I really appreciate the fact that the Black students have bonded together for this. There's also been an interesting trend going on the campus of support groups forming for different ethnic identities. So there's a Muslim Students Union now. Chris, you can help me out. What are some of the other ones that are forming?
Southeast Asian Student Union.
Yeah, the Southeast Asian Student Union. And is there another one? I can't recall. I feel like there's another, but there's, I think, a need on the campus. Since there is so much diversity there is a need for people to feel like they have a safe place for them to just talk with people who really understand their experiences at home, their experiences integrating into the public school community. So that is kind of a trend on our campus that's going on. But the Black Students Union has the strongest voice. I feel like they have definitely the most visible and strongest leadership, because their leadership, like Chris, like Lizreen, is also very involved in other organizations on the campus, whether it's marching band or any other thing that makes them just a more powerful leaders, because they're not just singly focused on the Black Students Union. They're also focused on other things on campus, but they bring it together at the Black Students Union. So it's a powerful voice on our campus.
Great. Thank you. Kevin?
Hi. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yes. Chris, I might have missed this in the beginning, but did you talk about your own career goals and what you like to see yourself doing in 10 years?
No, I didn't touch upon that. Well, when I applied to Princeton, I was going to become a molecular biology major on the pre-med track. But now, after becoming involved in the Black Student Union, NAACP, I'm also considering law. So I'm actually kind of undecided in what I'm going to declare as my major at Princeton. So I hope to figure that out within my freshman, sophomore years.
Interesting. Well, either way, I'm sure you'll do really well.
Well, if it's any consolation, Chris, my first degree is in biochemistry. And I thought I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to become a genetic engineer. And I eventually switched all of that and went to law school. So there's hope for you.
Sure.
Pardon me. Any other questions? Oh, Diane, did you? Yes.
Yes. Hi, Chris. Thank you so very much. And congratulations again. Do you see all the different groups within our community, the representation from the different student unions coming together and forming an overall student union where everyone can work together and have a voice?
I think that's like a really interesting point, and I can see that happening in the future. But even now, even though we don't have like an overarching union, I remember when I was on campus, like we would all work together. Like I remember, like I think in the beginning of the year, our school released like a list of clubs, and we noticed like within BSU when we had our meeting that like none of the student associations were on it, so we were able to like reach out to everyone and kind of like a pact to and like petition like our student council to and make sure that they include like every student organization. So we have been able to develop relationships just because like all of us have some similar goals. And so I think those are valuable. And I think one day I could foresee like an overarching union forming. We all have a diversity on campus that like has they're kind of like an overarching group, talks about a variety of like social issues like goes on in the world. So we have something similar already.
That's really good to hear. And Diane, thanks for asking that question. Amy. Amy?
Hi, Chris. I actually have two questions. The first question is, Chris, can you tell us a little bit about how you have prepared the upcoming leadership to step into the role of co-president and the types of activities you've engaged them in to develop their leadership skills? And then my second question is, how can we as community members, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, support not just the Black Student Union, but all the students in our school district to make sure that each student feels valued and understands that we are here to support them?
Yeah, going to, oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
An incredible voice, and you've been a motivator for me. I've watched what you've accomplished, and it drives me to want to be involved and to help our students, because you guys, it's a cliche, but you guys are the future. So it's important, I think, to start including in the conversations how the community can support. And sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know how we can give you what you need to be successful.
Thank you for your questions and your support. It really means a lot to me. I'm going back to your first question. Starting in the spring of last year, myself and the other B officers, we held workshops weekly for people who are interested in becoming officers for the Black Student Union. And within those workshops, we went over public speaking, like how to craft an agenda, how to network with other clubs, and a lot of other useful skills necessary to become a leader within an organization. So for the whole about like 3-4 month period, our classmen were able to like train with us, work with us one-on-one, and develop the skills necessary to make websites, develop PR, talk to people outside of organization. And so a lot of them are like really enjoyed it, and I think that they're going to do very well. Say like we're exposed early on. They got to work with us while we were also officers, and we watched them like grow and prosper. So I know they'll do great. And I just think for the extended community, I think something valuable that you guys can do is just maybe like organize like meetings like this, like maybe like town halls, like every maybe a month or so, just to like receive like updates on like what's happening within the school. Like just like you said, because like a lot of adults in our community are kind of unaware of what goes on within our district on a day-to-day basis. So maybe if we do like town halls like once a month or any other time period, we'll be able to like inform the community and just like increase support for like any measures that we might be like fighting for on campus for like all our students.